from the homework the other day, and this is show the impact on real interest rates of increasing purchases of government securities by China, right? How would this impact the international value of the US dollar? Okay, so it's very similar to the other stuff, right? They're purchasing governments. You could look at the government bonds as an export, right, which is in the balance of payments. Okay, so what we have is we have government bonds. The Chinese want them. They can't use their currency, so they go to this international foreign exchange market. They supply yuan, right, and they demand dollars. Once they have their dollars, okay, they can go to the loanable funds market. Savers supply the money. So the Chinese are looking to save. They're not looking to borrow. So they're going to be on the supply side of this issue, right? So the Chinese are buying bonds, so they're supplying funds. Okay. Now let's give that a look graphically. Loanable funds market means quantity of loanable funds. Then we get real interest rates on the Y. We have a demand curve for loanable funds. We have a supply curve for loanable funds. And we have an equilibrium interest rate and quantity. Okay, so we're in the loanable funds. They're not demanding funds, the Chinese. They're supplying it to us, right? Because they want the higher interest rates. So the supply curve will shift to the right, causing real interest rates to fall. All right. Now, before any of this happened, we had seen in the foreign exchange market, well, let's do this. I'll bring up the foreign exchange market. Well, okay, scratch that. Let's go to the bond market. Just to reiterate what we're talking about. All right, so if you go to the bond market, right, if the Chinese are buying the bond market, then there is an increase in the demand for U.S. bonds, right? The Chinese want a place to put their money, so they're demanding U.S. bonds. You notice the price of a bond, which is not interest, the price of the bond rises. So if we have a higher price, there's an inverse relationship between price and interest rates. Okay, so if I was paying $80 for the bond, I was getting $20 interest. If I'm now paying $95 for the bond, I'm getting $5 interest. Interest has dropped. So you can see it from the demand side in the bond market or the supply side in the loanable funds market. All right, and then we would get to the foreign exchange market. Okay, US dollar market, quantity of US dollars, yuan to dollars. Okay, so when they're looking to save here, they're going to exchange their currency for our currency. So they're demanding our currency, which is causing our dollar to appreciate. It's no different than question one when I believe it was the Chinese, no, it was somebody wanted grain. It was the Europeans. They were buying grain from us. Same exact concept, right? They need our dollars to buy the grain. In this case, they need our dollars to buy the bonds. Okay? So the US dollar appreciates. Now we go to the next one. It's a loanable funds market from Zambia. Okay, they're worried about the impact on the real interest rate. Foreign investors moving their funds out of the country. How would this impact the international value of their currency? So we go back to the loanable funds market. They're taking their money out of the market because they don't like the interest rate. Okay? And then what we have is a supply shift to the left. There's less supply because foreigners are taking their money out of the loanable funds market. Okay, and that's going to cause interest rates to rise. Okay, then we go to their currency and we see why it depreciates. All right. Because there is a higher supply. So let's just say you're an American, you have money in Zambia, and you now decide you want to take it out. So you take it out, but when you take it out, you have to bring it to the foreign exchange market and exchange their currency for dollars. So there's going to be this big increase in quantity of supply on the foreign exchange market for Zambia's dollar. Okay, and that would make the dollar, their currency, would be depreciating. All right, any questions? Hit me up. We're looking to do some type of live session in the next couple of days, so I will keep you informed about that. All right, guys. See you later.